Part 2. Greetings. Peace. What's going on, sentient beings? It's everybody's favorite esoteric cheerleader, the prosperity priestess. And I thought I'm stuttering. Yeah, that's what happens when you start feeling not good enough or inadequate or listening to those dark thoughts or whatever else. And the distractions come in different ways. And then I chose not focus on me. And I'm like, well, you should go focus on my daughter. I did the exact opposite of everything I just said about focusing on me and making these choices. And there's a whole reason why I'm specifically not focusing on her. Because I'm well aware of the energy she's choosing to use. I'm aware of the energy she went to bed with. I'm aware of the energy she chose to wake up with. I'm aware of the choices that she's making. In each moment, same as me. Now, it's not for me. This is what the fuck happens with parenting. You have to learn to not react, respond, be affected by their choices. And they're right in your house. And some of their choices are to sabotage and go against what you're doing because they're on their own battle, learning and growing. And you have to be mature. You have to literally walk that path. You can't respond with yelling at, well, you can yell at them. Now you're giving them trauma and toxicity. And that's the only way they know how to operate is what you're giving. They're going to be what the fuck you put into them. So you're going to put that love and patience in, or you're not. All right, so boom, doing the love and patience part. But look at the energy that they were created in. Look at how we treated them before we came into so much knowing and awareness and doing things better. Look at just life in general, just the fact that they're children, so their mentality and what they're thinking and their goal is very different than ours as adults. For example, so many times I want to include my child while we do things in the kitchen. That's how real it is. And I feel like it's very important, and I just want her to be confident and comfortable, and I feel like there's excellent bonding. And also it was like, growing up, I always wanted to do that, but it was like, go away kind of thing. Or family dinners is like, no, we're not doing that, but whatever. So I do it different in my home. And then she fights me. It's like everything I try to do for her, bringing this harmony, she fights me. And it's like, don't you know there's children that wish that they had someone to give them some time and attention? So yes, there's a time when I'm choosing to not, oh, let me stop everything. You're here, you're awake. Oh, you need this energy. Hold on, I'm focusing on me. I'm giving to me, and I've been doing it. Everything I do is for you. And I do set time aside specifically for you. I'm not about to feel guilty because now you want to play. Mind you, and I learned through experience. I learned. This is children. And you give to them. That's what they do. They play. And we're like adults. We're trying to be serious. So I'm like, here, do this. And then they trigger you. We're just little mini yous. That's it. You think you're rebellious, you don't want to listen. You stand on your own, you go against the grain. Okay, and then you have a child. That's what your child does. When you're like, do this, they're like, why stand on my own? I do what I want. I ain't got you. You're like, yo, all I'm trying to do is provide harmony for you and keep you away from all the toxicity, and you're trying to go against me. Like, oh shit, children do spiteful ass shit. Because how they feel inside or trying to get back at parents, not realizing that the parents doing their best to protect them the best way that they know how, or to provide for them the best way that they know how. Not knowing and realizing that their parents have flaws in their perfectness, that the parents are still learning and growing. This is the reality, whether it's 2-parent home, 1-parent home, all this, any culture, race, religion, this is what children do. Push buttons. So eventually I was like, why the fuck am I in this profession? And then I go home and be with, I'm not doing this. I'm not. Why would I sign up? And then I don't like the way they choose to deal with it, so it just perpetuates it. Like, I deal with my child differently than what they do in these places. They be holding the children hostage and indoctrinating them. I'm gonna start saying that. Gratitude on them for us. He is holding them hostage and shit. We're just babysitting them while we could go out and do something for them. And oh fuck, and they're just putting all this toxicity in them. And then they come home to us for us to deal with. And at daycare, they were like, well, they didn't really deal with it. Or at schools, they just brush it under the rug or push it away. So that just grows inside the child. They feel like, try to find more ways. They can feel like they act however they want. And then at home, now you as an adult had to deal with it. Because it wasn't dealt with at school. They let them sit there and have a tantrum. They're going to let little Jimmy have a tantrum. I remember one of the times my daughter had a tantrum. And I straight up told her, like, because I comprehend, I saw what was happening. I was like, wow, you've never done this, but now that you're in daycare, oh, when you see, oh, you're just copying, so you want to see the results. But it's just like, I watch children, the mom trying to go out with her son, they're trying to leave, the child just drop on the floor and start crying, the other child sitting there looking like, what the fuck are you doing? My Karen's sitting there all confused, like, come on, Kimmy, get out. My daughter looking at me like, should I try it? I'm looking at her like, I wish you would. I'm going to be the same with you that I always am, and we don't do that. See, me, I vocalize. I start telling her. Because I already know what she's thinking. I'm like, see? Those are choices. We don't choose to act like that. We're going to make little Jimmy an example today. Because I know that you see it. We're going to address that. That's not what we do. I'm very grateful that you choose to be in control of your energy. That's an example of not in control. Does that feel good? But that's not how we get what we want. And it's good. I speak that truth. Now Karen knows how to deal with it. You don't even know how many people, how many strangers have come up to me to tell me about the way I interact with my child, the way I communicate with her, especially when she's younger and I'm taking her to all these events. They're already looking at me like, oh, there's a melanated woman here at the library, at Barnes and Noble, at the what the fuck, the Space Center, the Copernic Space Center. We took her to Finch House, we took her to these retreats. Yeah, we do, so we're all over the community. And it may not be what you expect because you get your perception from TV telling lies to the vision, and they don't show people who look like me doing these types of things with our family, or they don't show this energy being put in. Mad strangers, especially females, non-melanated females, just watching, and it's like, and I don't know they're watching, but I don't care. I'm gonna do me regardless. This was even before I walked around with a crown on my head. But it's like, they'll stop and tell me, like, I just wanted to say, I saw the way you were talking to your child, and I think that's really great, because already they're surprised, and they're learning. There we go. As I'm walking about you, they're learning. You're learning. You're seeing somebody do it right. I'm not about to sit here and get flustered, but you're not about to take my energy, and it's not going to go. I set the tone. I say how it goes. And I know how to do that harmoniously. I know how to use your energy right against you. I know how to speak that truth. I'm not going to drop down to your level. I'm going to show you how to come up. That is parenting, and all this shit is so much easier said than done. That's why a lot of people, it wasn't a plan. It's what happened. Hold on a moment. I'm going to get more coffee. I realized I was feeling guilty about shit in my life. And really, I'm out here doing my best. By myself. With what I have or don't have. With the support I have or don't have. So I'm grateful for the knowledge that I have or don't have. The resources. We're all out here doing that. So don't let anybody try to shame you for being you. And this is why I walk with this crown on my head. Like, there's nothing that's more important than being me. If it's a problem for you to be around me because I have a crown on, then you're not my crown. If it's a problem for me to come in your establishment because I have a crown on, you won't get this money. All these things, which is never a problem for me to go into anyone's establishment with my crown on. But this is how people are. And you see the way people look at you and they think and they want to dress for you. They want to have an opinion of you and how you should. Fuck all that. Let them focus on them and let you focus on you. And these children, get them in line. But this is like part of my battle, you know? Oh, I was saying about the children and it's like, so you want to have them help with doing something in the kitchen and then they do everything wrong. Or slow. Or confusing. Or just playing. And it may be intentional and it may not be. You know, oh, they're a child, you doing what? Okay, I don't. And that's good. And that's why you also need time for you and just to focus on you. And that is okay. Society will tell you you're supposed to be giving everything to them and It's such an oxymoron, but then they'll also tell you to drop them off with a stranger so you can go get this money. So this is why, gratitude, 10:09 to 10:10. This is why it's confusion, it's conflicting, it don't feel right, it don't make sense, because all those things are reality. It don't make sense. You shouldn't be doing that. Following what the fuck they say have you confused and hurting and pain. And I know because I learned and lived. When I choose to focus on me, that's my judgment, my XX. When I choose to focus on me instead of this, whatever my child is doing, change my words, be impeccable with my words instead of focusing on whatever my child's doing. This is how you win. So I'm like, well, damn, she won't listen to me. And I'm like, okay, well, that means if that's what you're seeing outside of you, that would reflect that you're not listening to yourself. Oh, she's not in alignment. Then you're not in alignment. That's always a battle. I have to focus on me. I have to focus on me. I have to see, why is this happening? What the fuck? She likes to act confused. Well, are you acting confused with your life? Is your energy all over the place? And of course, they're going to be who they are. She's such a Pisces. Pixie dust. Victim mentality. Creating a scenario and then being sad about what's created. Like when she was young, she would like knock something off the table and then be upset because something was now on the floor. And it's like, but I just watched you. You don't know I watched you do it, but I did watch you do it. But I do see you coming at me like you're so upset. But it's very interesting in learning about astrology and the energy. And it's like, oh, that's the victim mentality. She's creating the circumstances that she's responding to. So much power in these Pisces. That's what I tell them. I'm like, look, so that's what I learned. I had to just let go. And it's what you learn as parents. Well, I'm learning this shit early. I'm not about to be stressed out because you want to play games. I'm not doing it. The same concept with the grown-ass males. I'm not going to say men, with the grown-ass males of that. I'm not about to be stressed out because of your choices. This is parenting. And fuck that. This is mothering. Because we're the one that come out of our wombs. We're the one that made a choice to have a baby. We're supposed to be, but are we being pressured by society? Because it's not going to be nobody else's nipple that baby's trying to drink off of. Or calling mom, or when you're trying to be in the bathroom by yourself, and oh, here's the child. Hey, me. That shit is nonstop. It's when you say it don't stop until you make it stop. And that's what it becomes. Like, now you have to find a way to focus on both of you guys. Give both of you nourishment. Do her hair and your hair. But you're not going to feel like doing nothing for her or your hair if you don't feel good with yourself. But you're just going to keep pushing through, and that's burden, that's oppression. That's what so many mothers feel. I'm speaking about females. I'm speaking about our journey. Channel I give reference to the matriarch, and also because this is what's bringing the equilibrium, the balance. There's too much toxic masculinity in the world that we're living in, because it's all trying to ignore the her. So whether you're a male or a female, whatever your career is, it's that whole concept of the women represents, that's a Cancer energy. That's the mom. That's the moon. Women, that energy, that her, that's the nourishment. That's the internal. Whereas the masculine would be the 10th house, would be the Capricorn, would be the drive, would be the achieving, would be the exertion. Look, I get all high. Yo! I love men. I love masculine energy. I have a lot of masculine energy myself. But goddamn, that's why I need my men to have a lot more. And I'll be like, oh. He's so, I love it. And it's so interesting because I'm like, well, that's probably how they look at us. Like, they see us and they're like, I'm like, damn, look at the muscles. Like, oh, he looks so hard. And they're looking at us like, wow, her skin is so soft and glowy looking. Or even, I wonder what it would feel like to touch. That's how I be looking at them like, yo, those arms around me. Oh. Or it's like, you know what I like about men? How they're very hard, very assertive, but they just melt. You know, I like that. I like, I'm stuttering. I'm saying too much. Oh, I feel all vulnerable. I'm telling things about myself. Oh, intimacy. Oh. I was gonna say that I like, you see their strength. But what feels so good is when they be gentle with you and you feel that. I think that's similar to the concept of like how we're soft and we're feminine and we get our hair down and it's all particular. What do they want? They want to rest it up. They want to when you get hyped. They like that. They like when we be assertive. I'm just saying. Just like we like when they take the time and use the other aspect of their energy. Oh, okay. Like, yes, I love that you could chop down a whole fucking tree. Yeah. And I love seeing that other side of how you choose to be that gentle with me. Like how we see it when a man's with a baby. And I'm like, oh. That's that nurturing aspect. We love that. And just like women naturally are, the nourishers and the soft. When we become very assertive and driven and tap into our other sides and bring that balance to ourselves, perhaps men find that very attractive about us. They do. That's the confidence when you out here and you know your worth. That's what that is. You're not letting nobody else put the price on you. Oh, I was gonna say that's what I'm still learning about. That's how real it is. It is. This is why I want to speak impeccably. It's important. I'm learning. I'm grateful to be in the awareness of. It's like, well, this is like all you're doing. You just keep giving away your energy for free. You're still doing it. You need to provide a service for people. This is what you like to do, and you should be receiving. You get to choose what you want to put out there. What do you do? What do you do for people? Oh, okay. You're like. As you said, you're everybody's favorite esoteric cheerleader. And I realize that when I see the people that come into my life, boom, they need a jumpstart. You need a jumpstart. They're on the beginning of their path and want to know. And that makes sense. I'm the mercurial energy. It makes sense. Like, oh, I got information for you. I'm going to certainly get you started on the path. I'm going to help you see it right there. Help you see it, help fill you up, give you that energy, charge up, so you can go on your path and be empowered. That's what I do. Okay. Put that into a formula. Put that into a business because you're supposed to be out here getting paid for who you are and for what you do. I'm shining light. I'm giving life. I'm speaking truth. I'm doing what they want. So, that's for me to put myself in a position. That's how I got here. Everything, you already know. It wasn't what you shooting in the gym. They don't get to decide. So that's the XX, that's the woman, that's the judgment. So when you're choosing to give your power away to a man, to a religion, to an institution, to anything outside of yourself, to your children, you feel depleted, you feel drained. When you choose to go within and you focus on you, then you feel great. That's how you guys see me sometimes. I'm like, yo, I be in love with myself. And that's what you're supposed to do. Gratitude. And I learn the more I love myself and show it openly, it encourages other people to do the same. And then everybody feels good. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. Just passing this around. Oh, thank you. It was 1911. I said, was that 9/11? No, it was 1911. Gratitude. Yes, because so much I feel like, well, let me not focus there. I'm grateful to be in the awareness of the fact that I empower others by being me. That's why I wrote that down. That's how real it is. So something else I was supposed to speak about was energetically and the ball being in our court, right? And the XX and the judgment is our energy. Everything based off of energy. So look, we are the women. We are the vessels. We are the portals that all the life comes through, right? So we transport. You already know that's what portals do. Take you places. We're the car. We're the vehicle. We're the vessel. You know it. And this can all be applied to any entity, whether it's the business, whether you're a male, whether it doesn't matter. Just look at it in terms of the external, the physical, that's the vehicle. But, I'm speaking to these matriarchs. I'm speaking to us. But this also does apply for the males in your life, or males that may be watching. You are a vehicle. Your physical existence, your body, this right here, that's the vehicle. So boom, we're the Lamborghinis out here, right? Or whatever fancy car you like, a Jaguar, whatever it is you like. So, we're doing high class, high value. You're the Lamborghini. And they see it, they know. They know you a Lamborghini. It's like you know you're a Lamborghini. Because you treat yourself that way. You make sure to polish yourself in the evenings. You make sure to put the proper gas in. You make sure to drive on the streets that are smooth and not bumpy. All these things are choices. And it's how you take care of yourself, right? What's going on inside? What's going on inside? Because if that engine in the Lamborghini's not taken care of, if that oil's not changed, it don't matter how good it looks. You're not going nowhere on the highway, this road called life. This path, this journey called life. If this shit ain't right inside, you need a jump start. Do you have power? Because it can look all great on the outside. I can put this on and look, and I'm still be me. But if my energy is, you see the difference. Versus when my energy is charged up, ready to go. And that's what all of us. Taking the her out, that's the internal, that's the feminine. That's where you're not focusing on what's going on. Is it vacuumed inside? Or we never vacuumed it, we never detoxed it. I love to talk about health and how, and fiber and eliminating, and how that's like driving a car for 30, like we're not taking the time to do detoxes and release energy that no longer serves us. It's like driving a car for 30 years and you never vacuumed it. You never pull out all the garbage and shit. That's what we're doing. A lot of us are doing energetically and really physically with the food and stuff that we put in and not taking detoxes. Now, energetically, we're getting energy from everywhere, but when are we taking the time to release it? These are doing things like journaling. These are doing things like walking and letting your feet kiss the earth and taking your time and being in tune and being grateful. Just what that is when you go inside. This is why it's power. This is why it's connecting with source. Because you're just realizing who you are. You see. Instead of focusing on everything outside of you and being stressed and being on the Lamborghini and which lane do I need to be in? Oh shit, I need to watch out for this one. Oh shit, I hope I don't get rained on. When you focus on inside, this is where the stillness comes, right? This is where the peace comes. Be still and know. Like in the middle of the storm, the tornado, the eye of the storm is calm. Center. That's what the centering yourself is about. And when you do that, go within the her, the internal, the feminine, the nourishment. You're doing these things like you might be in an electric car, Lamborghini, you're charging up to the wall. For us, confirmation. For us as physical beings, that's us doing these things, taking our feet off and our shoes off and grounding. Taking the time to do the bubble bath. That's like you just clean the whole inside with the Epsom salts and shit. It's like you just vacuum the whole inside of the car, the Lamborghini, your shit fresh. That's why it feels like that. You gotta look at yourself like the Lamborghini. And this life journey is like you're on the highway out here. Listen, you don't got no business focusing on these other lanes, these other cars. You don't even trying to focus too much on where you're going and how to get there. That's a stressful thing. And pulling out the map, listen, you're supposed to be riding and enjoying. Yes, you have goals that you're appreciating along the way, that all the tires are working, that you can even get there. You see people in wheelchairs who may not be walking. You ain't even feeling good. This is life, and you're the Lamborghini. You got to be very mindful of not only how you treat yourself externally and internally, getting the oil changes and the proper maintenances, making sure the engine's right. Obviously, I don't know much about cars. That's all I'm saying, right? And I want to really point out who you let come into that journey with, who you let get in that Lamborghini. You already know, as women, the XX, there goes your judgment. Who the fuck did you let in your Lamborghini? And then they nut in it, and now you have a child in the back seat, and then they decided to get out of the car, and now it's just you and the child on the journey. Oh. Who you let in your Lamborghini? What was their energy like? Are they the type that can make sure their shoes are clean before they get in the car? Do they have their own Lamborghini? Are they focusing on their own vehicle, their own vessel? Oh no, they're not. When you thought they were about to focus on you and help you, no. They're about to do what they always do. They're confused. They're trying to figure it out. There's a reason why they don't have their own. Oh, there's a reason why. There's always smoke before a fire. And we're like, well, let's see. Let them in the Lamborghini. Let me see. Let's just ride and see what happens. Bitch, bye. That's not the answer. That is the energetic concept of what could happen and you typically does. Let's just find out. No, fuck that. That's not just, we want to just find out and be right here in my Lamborghini, on my road, my path, and you be in yours. And we'll see how it takes care of each other, how you take care of your Lamborghini, how I take care of my Lamborghini, and internally as well. And we're going to see on this journey whose cars stop moving because they weren't taking care of it internally, or we going to see. Fuck no, you can't drive in this Lamborghini with that. You can't hop in my whip with that whack-ass energy. I got places to go. I'm not about to be dealing with that. Pulling over on the side of the road because you're sick. No, you have your own vehicle. Get the fuck in it. Focus on it. Fix it. And move. That's what I'm doing. I'm not about to let somebody else hop in my shit who's not focused because they want to hop in my shit because they're not focused on their own. They're not seeing their own worth. They're not seeing their own value. To try to be hopping in somebody else's. What about you? I am talking to myself as well. If you're trying to hop in your inbox, wrong. I don't even have Messenger. I put it back in my phone a couple times so I can interact with other people, with certain females that send me messages. I'm like, fuck, people are sending me messages and I can't send it back unless I download the app. And then I'm like, and then I just delete it again. Because I'm like, you don't even want it. You're just doing something to respond to them. That's not how I have to choose to operate. I don't even have a Messenger app or want it on my phone or taking up that space. You can't just hop in my inbox. Look, say I'll have a whole public conversation with you. Say it to me online, right on my Facebook post. If you can't say it right there, you don't need to say it in no private area. So that's energetically, I don't even have a Messenger. You can't, there is no backdoor path to get inside the Lamborghini. Fuck out of here. And what is it that you're trying to hide that you don't want the people to see? So you can conversate with me right on the public post. Outside of that, you're on some bullshit. Scorpio, what's behind the deal? You trying to take the back door and shit. That's how real it is. I don't even got a back door for you. That's how focused I am. There's no back window. We're going that way. So it's very relevant, being aware of the energy you let allow in your life while you're on your journey. Whether it's from a job or whether it's from a person, it doesn't matter what gender, whether it's from family members or friends, so it don't matter the level of intimacy, the level of connection, platonic in your life. It could be your coworkers, it could be your sister, it could be your neighbors, it could be a distant Facebook acquaintance. Everything is energy, and these things present themselves to you so you can address it the way you see fit. That's what it is. That's what it is. Let me see what else I need to speak about. And be confident and know I'm doing an incredible job. Yup, give myself that same energy I'm giving others. Alright, her, earth, creation. Yeah, I talked about the hers and everything. The gambit energy with the eyes and the vision. Yeah, that's really Baron Samdi. You're trying to come out? Who are you? It's right here. We're gonna look. Yeah, there's so much truth they don't want you to know. I wrote that down because I was like, yeah, I'm like light. I give light on this. So I used to always like the gambit energy in the X-Men. I think that's when I want to take the glasses off. Whoever took their glasses off, I'm like, bzzz. I like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm like that. And then, because of knowing, I was like, oh, yeah, but ain't nobody but a Baron Samdi out here. Yo, and opening the ways and that mercurial energy. So it's very interesting, but the knowing, being in tune, being in alignment. Who wanted to present their energy in this particular video? I had barely started shuffling. Like, what's up? Ooh, it says, who are you? That's what I'm supposed to be talking about. Oh, well, you figure out that 3003 when you go within, then you figure out, well, who are you? It's not about who everyone else is and what they're doing, how they're moving on the journey. Even your children, they have to make their own choice. Your job is to provide a safe, comfortable, resourceful environment for them to do that. But you can't control them in their car. You can show them how to drive in life, but they're going to make the moves they do. And if you choose to be attached to that emotionally, you ain't going to be light as a feather. You're probably coming back through as their grandchildren. Right. I was like, my child may decide to not have any children. I was like, then I did my job. It's not that I did my job. It's that, why are we being programmed to think and feel like that's the goal in life, is to have children? When really, we've seen creation, the longevity of, and the legacy of the Cometians, the Kemetic culture, that's still here to this day. It's still standing. That's a different type of way to create and legacy. And you put your energy out for eternity. You don't have to create children. But if you do, you'll be back. Because obviously you got some work to do. There are some people who are very spiritually evolved, and that's what they choose to not have children, because they recognize what that is and what that becomes. Now you got to focus on something outside of yourself and keeping it safe. And it's a whole fucking war out here, in case you forgot. And it's really your inner me that comes out. There's about the inner me and the enemy, and it's there now in the physical, looking at you like, I ain't about to poop, change my diaper. Or let's fast forward some years. Children take action, do things, say things, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much it frustrates you. Guess what? It's still your job to feed them. Type shit. Oh, and it's also your job to feel good and happy and green and your energy and flourishing and wonderful. Right. Meanwhile, there's a little mini you right there trying to fight you. XX, judgment, your choices. Did you push that out your womb? So feed it. Take care of it till it can do for itself. I know maybe you didn't create it alone, but it was a choice and you allowed in confirmations. And it was a choice that started all the way from that night when you got dressed and allowed in and called and wanted, and it was all sex. But it was an external focus and in a toxic manner, because if it was harmonious, you wouldn't be doing it alone. This is the reality. I'm talking about what I know. I'm talking about my experiences. Which we share a lot of the same experiences. If it was equilibrium, if it was balance, it's a knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You know what the man wants. You know. Don't fall for the fallacy. Have the wisdom. Be the two high priestess. And in control of your energy and what you put out and what you're calling in. Same concept. And that's where you get to the understanding. That's how real it is. The understanding, the three, the child, the what comes. Oh yeah, but that is life. That is creation. And the man and the woman, the one and the two, the one, the zero and the one. Let's go. And then what comes? The child. That's the understanding. And you're going to have some clear motherfucking understanding of who you are and your role. A lot of us now, it's our journey to come into our power. You being abandoned so you could be self-sufficient. So that you can know that you never needed anyone in the first fucking place. But if you don't know that, then you put yourself in a position, if you weren't trusting yourself and going to then and being grateful for you and knowing your power and focusing on you and going inside, then what you did it all externally. And it was like, oh, I want to give this way and I want him to give to me. So this is what we did. And I have a body, sexuality. But there's so many other ways to create. And there's nothing wrong with being sexy. But are you being sexy in a toxic way or in a harmonious way? You'll see by the results that it brings you. And if you're out here sexually, the word is promiscuous. Prom. Pro. It's a power. It's to keep going. It's a lot of trial and error. It's how you become a professional. Promiscuity, prostitution, these things, it's all part of the sexuality, but it's a toxic representation. It's not the proper balance. It's focusing on the other that's outside of you more than yourself. It's abandoning yourself. When it's toxic sex is when you're abandoning yourself. Toxic sexuality. Whoa, that shit just got deep. Oh, that shit just got hella deep. Oh, toxic sexuality is when you're abandoning yourself and who you are. Talk about it. They don't want to hear that truth, though. That's why it's toxic. I don't give a fuck who you choose to be with or how you choose to present yourself. But when you choose to not represent who you are, and you feel like you gotta paint your face on, put eyelashes on, change your gender, not accept who you are, that's toxic. That's a form of toxic sexuality. So this is why we see it in that form. That's a manifestation of it. I don't have a problem with who you choose to be with or who you are. I don't care. I don't answer those questions. Like, I don't care what religion you are. I will sit down, eat with you, chill with you, all that. Energy. If you came out with a phallus, but your choice is to... It's not even about how you present yourself. It's about how you feel about yourself. And if inside you feel like you don't like your phallus that you have, that is a fucking problem. That's not liking you. That's running from you. That's what happens. That's how the children get made. Because you're running from yourself. So then you create a little mini you that you can't fucking run from. And it's right there. And if you do run now, you've abandoned yourself. You've abandoned your family. There's so many that have. And there's so many that choose to not do that. And that's parenting. And now you're learning and growing. Oh, who the fuck made this plan? And I'm telling you. Goodness. Who card wants to present their self? Who is this? What is this? 7 of Pentacles. It's in reverse. Everything that you've worked towards. 7 of Pentacles building up. The 7. That is a Neptunian energy. That's that Pisces. That is the fog. Don't be delusional out here. Don't be delusional about what you're building. 7. Neptune. That's why I'm saying delusion. Fog. Like it was foggy this rising. And Pentacles. Earth. What you're building. The clay. The creation. Ha. Yeah, I know. We are made from the earth or whatever. So what does the earth look like? What does the soil look like? What does copper look like? What's copper colored skin? These things, it's irrelevant at this point in time, but truth is relevant. And this is why. So I plant some seeds, I put some things out to help change your perspective, because you've been lied to and indoctrinated from. What happens in cognitive dissonance arises. Then you got to see, well, is this truth or is it not? And when you're fighting truth, that's cognitive dissonance. You've been programmed one way, and then you hear the truth, and you're like, I don't know. That's the cognitive dissonance. You over here fighting for the damn illusion. But that's programming, that's indoctrination. But this is why I speak the truth so unapologetically. First of all, it's my past. That's what I do. That's who I am. Got Pluto in the 3rd house. And then all these other, confirmations and alignments. This is what the people need to hear. Truth. This is why they're walking around oppressed. These are the thoughts that they have that they won't fucking say. And I am the one. I'm the one to put it out there. I'm the one to say it. I'm the one to do it. And you see it and you know it. And that's why when I walk my path, it helps others. I'm not doing this to be your friend or to fucking entertain you. As I read with this, I'm doing this to help empower you on your path. And I feel empowered on my path, so I know that's what it is doing for you. That's the point. Now, 7 of Pentacles. That's what you're building towards. That's what you're working towards. You're creating the molding, the earth. The 7 is like, it is the Neptune and the perception, and you're looking at it, and you're from a distance. And you're looking at all the work you've put in, like, The reversal energy That would be discernment. Like, do you like what you put in? Are you grateful for it? How do you feel about all of the work that you've put in thus far in a direction that you're headed? This energy make me think of, you recognize a tree by the fruit that it bears. We are the Lamborghinis, whatever your gender is. You're the masculine, their cars too, their vessels, their vehicles too. Look. And you could see how that male was like, how's this Lamborghini look? Is it banged up? But it's not so much how the focus on the external that matters, but the internal. What's that feeling that it gives? Bottom line, it's all about the self. You're supposed to put the most love into yourself. You're supposed to put the most love internal, not external. You focus external, it's the wrong direction. It is the wrong move. It is necessary. It is not where you fucking stay. And there's far too much focus on the external, on the mundane, on the physical, on the superficial. And Scorpio season is not about that shit. Scorpio sitting here looking at it like, oh, I see right through the fog. I see right through the veil. I see right the fuck through that superficial ass shit you put on. You're hiding. But you stepped onto my radar. I feel it. You don't have to hide. You just gotta be yourself. And you don't gotta give a fuck what a hater gotta say. That would be why you're hiding. That would be why you're running from yourself. You feel like, well, this is not good enough, or it's not accepted. The acceptance comes when you accept yourself. You feel the joy and the calm when you know that you are good enough. But if you've been taught and raised, and if you are a fish being judged your whole life on your ability to fly, well, then we know how you feel. You don't feel worthy. You don't feel like the Lamborghini you are. This is why you have to know yourself. Fuck what they're saying. They're like, why can't you fly? Bitch, because I'm a fish. I swim. What you talking about? This is why you have to know yourself. And this is why if you don't, people perish for lack of knowledge. If I put the wrong type of gas, or the wrong type of, if I don't even instead of putting gas into the gas tank, I might put sugar in it. Toxicity. Told you, Scorpio is not with that shit. Not sugarcoating shit. Sugarcoating shit. What an oxymoron. How fucking American. I tell you, let me read what it says. But a bunch of choices have been made. See the different paths? See the different branches? It's out there, so you're taking a step back and you're seeing what's been created. Like that mini me. And all that energy that went in Neptune feeling. Okay. Let's read. Let's go. Seven of Pentacles. Oh yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't deny it. It's not something to hide or run from. It's just not my only focus. I did not get on here to show you some shit you could get on Instagram and see way more of. That's not the point. The point was, this is what I want. This is how I felt. This is not even usually what I do. This is how I felt today. But that's how you should be every day. And you should feel fucking great even if you decide to put on a wrinkly ass t-shirt and sweatpants. That don't change your value of who you are. That don't change the mission. That don't change the game, the destination. That should not change the feelings. And you need to do that. You need to walk out your house fully accepting yourself as you are. Come as you are. It's not Halloween every day. You're supposed to get dressed up and put on a mask and a costume. But that's how people was out here living. That's why. Halloween, Scorpio season. Motherfuckers wear masks every day. Scorpio knows that. Scorpio see right through your fucking mask, right through your Halloween outfit. And then you see it, you see the toxicity in the Halloween outfits. Like, when did it become, why is it a trend that, because it's all dealing with the same energy. Sexuality and spirituality. Oh yeah, that upload came through last night. That's the focus. That's Scorpio. That's sex. Sacred. energy exchange. Are you going at it in a toxic manner or a harmonious manner? Are you focusing on the physical and the mundane, or are you focusing on the internal and the divine? Not the mundane, not the physical, not the dense, the density. When you start focusing on the feeling and the unseen, that's the spirituality route. Sacred energy exchange. Or when you're focusing on the physical and the mundane and the shit right in front, that's the sacred energy exchange on the physical level. But it's toxic. It doesn't have to be toxic, but what we are choosing, the way we're choosing to go about it is. If you should be able to create harmoniously without touching physically. Oh, I guess that's magic. Oh, I guess that's knowing your power. That's just being in alignment with all that is. Thought is force. Feeling is stronger force. Your heart and your magnetism, your auric field and resonance of your heart is way stronger than of your mind. They like focus on the mind, because their whole concept is taking the her out, the feminine. What you mean don't focus on my heart? Oh, the heart is treacherous. Fuck you, bitch. The heart is my guide. That's my North Star. Side religions, they're like, don't trust your heart. No, bitch, I don't trust you. It is right inside of me. People get mad because I curse. I don't give a fuck. The realities, to get stuttered on this point, the realities that so many people are experiencing, especially the children, from the adults' choices, focus on the shit that you're doing and what's going on in your life. Cursing don't make you a good or bad person. It's not a good or a bad thing. What's good or bad is the energy you're choosing to use in this existence towards yourself and towards others. How about that? Motherfuckers that want to focus on if you're cursing or not, that's because of the things that are in their life that they don't want to focus on. They'll do anything except focus on themselves. Let's criticize you then. Fuck off. Scorpio season, we're not playing that. Wasn't concerned with your perception of this mundane shit anyways, because I'm not focused on it. I'm over here with the spiritual and the sacred energy exchange that way. Making it happen that way, putting my efforts and energy that way, because I know and focusing on the unseen and going inside, that's how I change the paradigm. I know that's how I come alive. Oh shit. I know that's how I shine this light. I don't want to do it today. See, I should just go in the flow anyway. 7 of Pentacles. Ooh, beautiful. Yeah, exactly, because that's the energy of the card. Money, growth, patience, abundance, happiness. Because it's all based on the choices. It's all based what you put in, what you nourished it with. Money, growth, patience, abundance, happiness. The 7, that's the seeker energy. What direction did you go? And we're talking about the pentacles, the physical. So what did you keep building? What did you keep nourishing with? This is like that axis, the Virgo and the Pisces axis, the Earth and the Neptune and the who's that? Mercury. Because it is the sacrifice and all that was given, that axis, Virgo and Pisces, that they're polar opposites, they're on the axis of sacrifice. And it's always that balance of whether you're sacrificing for yourself or for others. We sacrifice for others all the time. It is perfectly okay. The problem is you don't sacrifice enough for yourself. That becomes a problem. In a world where you have to be self-sufficient instead of dependent on institutions that are created to destroy you, that's how real it is, y'all. In a world where you be self-sufficient, you'll be happy to collaborate and cooperate with others. Because you see, there is no such thing as being self-sufficient. We're all connected. you will see how natural it is to just make a living and to interact with other people who are making a living. Well, I do a lot of gardening. Oh, word, you do woodwork and carpentry. So you probably don't do a lot of gardening. You might do some. You might have a little tomato plant, but you ain't got all these squashes growing. Yo, come make me a chair. Let me give you some squash. That's simple. That's what it's always been. That's bartering. That's common unity. Now, Mrs. Johnson provides squash for the community. Mr. So-and-so makes the chairs. Mrs. So-and-so makes the clothes. Mr. So-and-so cuts the tree wood down. This one is watching the children. This one is educating the children, the elderly. When these ones are over here doing this, everyone's working together for the good of all. Is that what you're doing? Are you focusing on yourself for the good of all? That's the balance. Sacrifice. What are you sacrificing for? Are you sacrificing so you could satisfy the illusion or be their entertainment? Or are you sacrificing for yourself and for the direction that you're heading and for how you want to feel, and you know that you're a Lamborghini? Fuck out what your car looks like and what they think about it. They're not in it, and they're not going where you're going. This is all your choices. This is all your journey. You are a Lamborghini, and how the fuck you look and how the fuck they think or feel about how you look is irrelevant. The only thing that's relevant is how you feel about yourself. The veil. Yes. Ooh, yeah, I heard that. Accidental confirmation. Psychological war. Scorpio energy. The veil. That's what I wrote here. I said, oh, I know what it is. I said, so how do I describe that? I said, oh, it is the perception of separation. Right? The veil is thin during this time. It's always been there. And I'm not saying it's not easier to connect. I'm just saying for you to think that you can't connect other times, to think that there's a separation is the deception. That's the perception that's being perpetuated. And they want to teach you how to connect, how to go inside, how to be one with source and all of this and God, how to make God accept you. That would be from feeling like that can only happen under the illusion that you are separate from. All that is. Once you go inside and close your eyes and focus internally, the perception changes. There is no longer that illusion, that veil, the perception of separation. That's all it is. So, go inside, figure out who you are. This is the season for it. And fuck what a hater got to say. Thank you so much for being here. We can close out with some mudras and mantras for Ajna. Today is Thursday, so the first eye chakra. Yes, very important. As you saw me do many times in the video, closing my eyes so I could go within. That's what, and it's because I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to feel it and experience it, so then I can communicate it. So I'm trying to experience it more. I'm like, oh yeah, see, I'm closing my eyes off to all the distractions or anything external, because I'm not looking at something over there. I'm really going within, and then you see that. So that's Ajna, the vision. Ajna. This is crown chakra. No, what the F? I'm looking right at it. Ajna is the first eye. This is Jupiter's chakra. The Ajna, the first eye, the third eye is associated with the planet Jupiter. Music note A. Hypophysis. I have much learning to do. Clairvoyance. The element is thought. Yep. So, like here, we're talking about the physical organs. I can see for the Ajna, the first eye, I can see it says lower brain. But then with the crown chakra, I can see it says higher brain. Crown chakra say higher brain, cerebral cortex in the right eye. For crown chakra, there's the Ajna say lower brain, nose, sinus, left eye, inner ears, and the central nervous system. So it's very relevant, it's very important to be aware of how the energies represent themselves and play out in our life. So when you want to focus on the ajna, the planet Jupiter, the first eye, those various parts of the bodies, keywords, I can see. That's the vision. That's why it's associated with the planet Jupiter. Spiritual awareness. That's why Sagittariuses think they're God. Yo, they're so narcissistic if they're choosing to be toxic or low vibrational with their energy. And conceptualization. What is a higher, a better way, more positive, higher vibration of the Sagittarius and Jupiter energy? The opposite of narcissistic would be, oh, like how they are with these amazing hearts. They're just so abundant and giving. They're like everybody's grandma. So I'm learning, make sure I speak about toxic representation as well as harmonious representation of the energies. Because it's a choice either which way. And for each of us and in each moment. In this moment, we're going to do the Ajna mudra and mantra. The mantra is A-U-M. Om. A-U-M. That's the mantra for this third eye, first eye, this Jupiter-oriented chakra. And the gratitude, the mudra, yes, the mudra, hand placements is like this. That's all. And it looks like they kind of do like this with their thumb. Boop, like your thumb's on top of your fingernail. Okay, let's go. Working on your inner self, working on your first eye, focusing within, healing your energy, your auric field, raising your vibrations. I was about to ask her if she wanted to join, right? That's why I'm looking, that's why I stopped, and I realized she came down, but I'm like, no, that's the wrong focus. She didn't come down when she was supposed to. She's not doing what she's supposed to be doing when she came down to get that interaction and want to join. I could do it that way and accept her in, but then if I accept her in and choose, and then she sits here and uses whatever energy she wants to use, am I about to have an attitude or be upset about it? No. And in fact, I'm choosing, I'm not even allowing that energy in. I'm focusing on doing what I need to do. Now, if she would have just came over and did it herself, that's fine. But for me to open the door and invite her in, and then she come in with some bullshit, well, what did I invite in? I was sitting here focusing on me. I'm supposed to not be distracted. She was supposed to come down to switch the alarm when it came off. That didn't happen. She just waited till right now when I started doing this. And the mommy and me was like, oh, yay, invite her. Skirt. See, girl, with confirmation just came through. No, keep focusing on you. This is why it's hard. It's a battle. When they want to do right, they'll join. Just walk on that path the way you're supposed to. Provide them the resources and the nourishment. You can't force them. And when you try to, that's when it's a battle. Then you get frustrated because you're trying to do your best and they weren't ready for it or they didn't want it or their goal was to play games when you're not. I'm not playing games. I'm working on my inner self. When they want to operate harmoniously, they do that. They show how. It's simple. Your parents, you know, you don't have to feel guilty because you have a boundary. And you said, I'm working on my sacred face and bringing my energy up, and I'm not going to let anything distract me from that, even if it came out of me, especially if it came out of me. I'm going to show and prove and stay in control and be happy and joyous and work on my vision and not be distracted from anything while on my spiritual journey and working on myself. You have the same love and all that we give to them. We got to do it for ourselves. We love to spoil our children and our mates. Are we doing that for ourselves? So I'm learning to do this more and more. But it's easier to not feel guilty. Like, am I doing something wrong because I'm not including my child? Wow, can you have a moment by yourself? And all you're trying to do is work on your energy and do things right. And you know exactly what's going to happen when you try to include your child. This whole process is about to be different. Just focus on you for a moment. Can you get it right first before you try to teach the child? Before you try to invite an uncooperative component? That's what it is. That's what it feels like parenting. An uncooperative component that is right there on the ship with you. Sabotage. Oh, sorry. Scorpio energy. Sex. Were they created in a nourishing way or are they created in a chaotic way? Because that's the energy that they operate with. How they were conceived. I'll be speaking this truth. You don't have to like it. You live it, so you already know. You already know. And if you don't know, then you appreciate hearing the message like, well, damn, nobody said that before. Yeah, I'm trying to let you know. Focus on yourself. This is what happens, and it's just some women choose to keep focusing on the man and the external and doing everything he wants. Look, even Beyonce got cheated on, y'all. It's not about, yes, we look fantastic, we look great, we're sexy, all of that. But just focusing there is not going to get you what you want. That's not going to bring you happiness. That shit is an illusion. That shit is deception. This is why all the celebrities and the stars, that's what they do. And it's like, now you feel like you can't walk out the house unless you're like this. This is why this season, I'm not no bra, no sex, no cosmetics. I'm coming as I am. Like when I wake up and how I feel, shit. When I'm in here doing this little girl's hair or making this food, this is how I am. No bra, no sex, no cosmetics. I gotta fully accept me like that. Like how I wake up, I woke up like this. And accept me and love me looking right in the mirror like this. There's nothing wrong with accentuating your physical beauty. There's nothing wrong with being sexual. And there's nothing wrong with focusing on the internal. And appreciating and loving yourself irregardless of what the physical or the external looks like. That's the whole game. This spiritual warfare. This physical shit don't matter. It is mundane. That Lamborghini could crash and be fucked up. And you still got to go down this path called life. People who learned those lessons, they had to learn because the physical never mattered. Now they got to figure out how to live and enjoy without that. Because they weren't doing a proper balance. You're just neglecting the internal. Well, now all you have is the internal to focus on. Make it work like that. That's why. That's why. If he don't fuck with you because you decided to not comb your hair for a week, he wasn't for you. I'm speaking hella extreme. Who's gonna do that? I did that in college. Before I had children, it was just me going on my journey because I went to HBCU. It was like every day was a fashion show. So that was like my personal way to go on strike. It was like, I'm just wearing sweatpants and hoodies every day to class, and I'm not combing my hair. I used to walk around Hampton, just like this, with pens and pencils in my hair. I'd be in class, just like this, not combing. I wasn't using deodorant. I was like, I'm not using the metals. I am only doing things that are healthy for me. And that's how I learned and found other alternatives. And I tried making my own, and that's how you learn and grow. And then I found better things. Love all of you. You should not be ashamed because you have hair under your arms. It's natural. It's part of life. It's really cultural. It's supposed to be there. I'm just a Leo rising, so I'm supposed to be loving myself. Damn, this is what it's like looking in the camera. It's like looking in the mirror and the lights on. It's like, God! It's like, ooh, who is that? That's me. You should see yourself like that all the time. You don't have to. You're not out here to entertain anyone. You're not out here to get attention from someone else. Get that shit to yourself. Like when you're by yourself and do those loving things. Do those harmonious things. Take the time to have that smoothie or the tea. When I do the tea instead of coffee, it's great. I'm drinking coffee today. When I take the time for myself, I still didn't do the pedicure for myself. This is what works for me. It's not supposed to be focusing on others. So when you focus your energy on yourself, that's when you feel amazing. And that's when you're able to shine your light and do for others and light their candle as well. But you better nourish yourself and fill your cup up. Okay. AUM, correct? Yes. Ajna. Sixth chakra. First eye. Vision. Jupiter. The The ball's in your court. It's your vision. Where are you going? What's the energy you're using? How are you getting there? That's all your choice. And you know and feel better when you focus on you. Grow. Nourish yourself. Nourish yourself esoterically. Create a new paradigm. Transcend into that. That's where your focus should be. Not on trying to get a fuckboy's attention so you can end up a part of the single parent pandemic. Taking care of somebody's son that didn't take care of them. Damn, yo, I'm so fucking hard. Who made me a Virgo? You! Like, alright, nobody asked you to speak that much truth. Fuck that. That's what I do. That's who I am. That's what I was made for. That's why I was born here. Yo, I never fit in. And never wanted to. That's the crazy part. I used to question and wonder, like, is it bad that I don't want to be? How come I don't want to be like... That's just not who you are. That's not your focus. That's not... I remember when I was young thinking, but... You can't... You die alone. You are born alone and you're going to die alone. So what is this focus on? This togetherness and everything else outside of... That's how I was born. That's what I came into. And questioning on this path as a seeker. And I came to my own conclusions. That was great. That was my safety. Being by myself and looking inside and having my own mentality and not being programmed to the illusions, to the bullshit, to the confusion, the deception. They're using the fog. They're using Neptunian, telling lies to your vision. And it's so deceptive. It's like, you ever see that meme where it looks like the one person's about to stab the other one, but when you see the whole picture, because it's like, I had to start, like, can AI, can camera, can technology be biased? Yes, here goes the quote. Here goes the meme. I see it. It's like where they show you one picture, they show you one part, focus right here, and it looks like person A is attacking person B. But when they zoom out, you can actually see the whole picture, and it was really person B attacking person A, and person A was trying to get away from person B. But when they showed it like this, it looked the exact opposite from what the reality is. This is why when you pull out and see the whole picture, it's like, oh, it's what we're working on, the vision. Oh, and Jupiter and expanding. And that's why it's that Neptunian and Pisces, telling lies to the vision, distortion. If you only see this, or whatever else, or you're so busy focused on the physical, and you don't see the whole big picture. Oh, hold on now. Hold up now. That's why it's so important. The vision and what you're focusing on. And are you narrow-minded and tunnel vision? Or do you see the whole big picture? And that's what I'm talking about in this journey called life, this spiritual warfare. So much more than physical. So much more. And that's how you get more, when you stop focusing on the physical, like we were programmed to do. That's how you win. That is the journey. You don't follow the programming. You create your own code. You are your own program. You're already programmed. You already are. The fact that you came into existence, that's the program. That is you. You're not supposed to be choosing to become the programs they put out. And this is like, we're computers and we're just taking a chip. Well, I'll do this one, and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this. And I am all these things. Those are all external things that you put on you and decided to say is your identity. That's a fucking lie. That's not who you are. That's not how you were born. That's not the reality. That's just how they labeled it. Alright, we're going to do like 3 or 4 more. A-U-M. Just like this. Damn, I'm trying to rush. What am I in the rush for? Gratitude to you for choosing to enhance yourself. Do this as often as you like, quietly, as loudly. It's focusing on you. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what you're here for. Figuring out who you are. Not who they want you to be. Come on. This is how you figure out who you are. Spend time alone. Close your eyes. Go inside. That's who you are. And it's something different for everyone. Just like we all have individual fingerprints. We all have individual natal charts. Go inside. Find out who you are. As I say, that's how you beat the matrix, and then you find out that really you're programming yourself in the matrix. That's how you win. You get to choose your own programming. You already are choosing it all. So that's why you're here, because you're choosing to be better, do better, have more. Send an appreciation of you. Appreciate you and ascend. Appreciate this reality and ascend. Don't fall in love. Ascend an appreciation. And you do that when you focus on you. Remember to always ask ancestors and to surely seek spirit.